Thanks for joining us today on the Three Man Blitz. I'd just like to take a moment to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Three Man Blitz. Visit us at www.threemanblitz.com. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker, and don't forget to view us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys. So while Jeremy's sharing this to a couple of his Tennessee pages, we've got a lot to discuss. So there's been a lot of changes going on Rocky Top for like the past month or so, month and a half, since right before bowl season started. So we're here to kind of guide you through this from beginning to where we are now, which we had the hiring of a DC yesterday, and kind of give you our input on everything that's going on. So
DC defensive coordinator.
No, yes. The comics.
Okay.
The comics.
Carry on.
DC Comics. So anyway, if you're a Vols fan, maybe you have some things to be excited for the future. But we would love to hear what you think as well. I posted the link in the comments, so make sure you give us a call. We'll throw you in here, let you talk a little smack, whatever you got to say. Get out your opinion. And
why would you go right to talk smack?
Yeah,
there's a lot of smack to be talked.
They're Vols fans.
We'll tell you why you're wrong.
So, I'm not kicking a dog while it's down, man.
We'll tell you why you're wrong.
Show your checkered pride.
Yeah. So my question for tonight that I posed to some of you who are already in here is, are you for or against the hiring of Josh Heupel, and why? So just comment your question in the link below. Let us know what you got going on here. And you good, Jeremy? You good to roll?
Yeah, let's go.
This is all you. Jeremy is the Tennessee man, so take it away, bud.
First of all, go for three.
Go for three, baby.
Always, baby.
Let's drink.
Always. Yeah, we have a tradition here for anybody that's new. We like to imbibe a little bit, so not saying you have to along with us, but it does make the show better.
Talking football is always
a libation.
Exactly, it's a libation.
Always with the Rasta Lion.
The Rasta Lion, the Jedi quarterback.
1131 right there.
The checkerboard J. Bet you can't guess who that is.
It's me.
It's him.
I'm the one. I guess we should probably start at the beginning. Cheers, gents. Lots of whiskey in this here. And it's orange. It's pineapple, orange, mango.
Gotcha. Cheers, gents. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, so I guess step one would be from this crazy season to where we are now. And what we want to talk about is the firing of Jeremy Pruitt, and kind of how that came about was the recruiting violations that kind of snuck up on us. How you can get hit with recruiting violations and be cheating and still finish 3-7 is like. Yeah.
And this was, if I may interrupt you, this was a self-imposed investigation, if I'm correct.
So yeah, so it kind of got leaked by somebody, and you know, apparently the investigation's still ongoing, by the way.
Okay.
But a lot of people are speculating that it happened and it got leaked because they wanted to find a reason to fire Jeremy Pruitt with the cause, meaning that they wouldn't have to pay him any money.
Yeah.
Which they have fired him, obviously, and they tore out the entirety of the recruiting office. So, and all the details are still very not apparent unless you've really got your nose to the grindstone. But I know that Brian Niedermeyer was a big player in this, of paying players. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, if we can for a second, what program's not? I you know, it's kind of easy to say that now, but what program's not paying players to some capacity? And that's what sucks, is we still don't have the details. So
it happens.
It's good. It does happen, right? But I don't know what players got paid, who was paying them, who knew about it, how much. Are we talking like $100 here or there? We talking a couple thousand here or there? Like, to what extent are we talking? More than that? Surely not. But I don't know.
So let me cut you off real quick. The comments are kind of blowing up already. Everybody likes talking Tennessee. It's a sensitive subject. But another podcaster, Levi Coker on the Catch by Coker. I like Levi. He's a good dude. We need to get him on sometime.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Levi? I like that name too, man.
He says he is against the hire. He said Tennessee fans aren't expecting a natty right now. They just want to be relevant again. And Gus Malzahn probably would have been a better hire. What do you think about that?
And this is concerning the head coach or the defensive coordinator?
Coach, yeah.
The current head coach that got hired. After Pruitt got fired, we also had our AD step down.
Yeah, Philip Fulmer.
And Philip Fulmer, the pumpkin. And who we hired in, that's what we called him, the pumpkin, man. Big pumpkin. We hired Danny White, who was Central Florida's AD. And I would say that most, I've got a decent, finger on the pulse of Tennessee football and at least the fan base, and I see a lot of stuff that gets said. A lot of negative balls.
The heart's still beating.
We're still alive.
I will say for those of y'all who are still Tennessee fans, man, you guys are loyal. You have all my respect.
Oh, you can't say a Tennessee fan right now. Anybody that says they're a fan is a bandwagon fan. I don't know who would want to jump on that bandwagon, but
I'm saying those of you that are left standing, you have all my respect.
But like, to me, there's not many people that are excited about the Josh Heupel hire. And honestly, as a Tennessee fan, I'm not super excited about it either, but who would have made you super excited? There's not many names out there.
The question is, who would have made you super excited that would have accepted the position?
No, that's even better.
Well, one thing,
I don't even know if they talked to Malzahn or not, but I know that he's supposedly accepting the job at UCF.
Yeah, he's gone to UCF. So the thing is, the last time, what I didn't like about the coaching search that Tennessee did was it was made public on every end. Like every time a coach said, no, I don't want to be there. Like it was leaked, it got out, and it looked bad, and it helped them in trying to ink a contract with a coach, because whenever you finally get around to Jeremy Pruitt, he's like, well, I'm the last guy standing, so you're going to pay me this much for this many years, and blah blah blah. And that's one thing they did a better job of keeping under wraps this time, and I did like that.
And that was a big, that was Mike Hamilton. That was the AD we had at the time. That was his big faux pas. And he got fired. It was a big, crazy thing. He got fired like on the plane going somewhere, if I remember correctly, and then Fulmer steps in, and it was just it was an embarrassment is what it was.
Yeah.
But, Heupel, he brings a lot of good stuff to us.
And didn't Heupel come from Oklahoma?
No, he came from, he played at Oklahoma.
Played at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played at Oklahoma, and he's been Central Florida's coach for the past several years.
He came from UCF, and I was kind of surprised by the hire when I heard it, because I was like, okay, Danny Smith, cool, I like that hire. And then he's just like, okay, or Danny White, I'm sorry. He's just a regular white guy name. And then he's just like, I'm going to turn around and hire the guy that I just hired a couple years back, but I'm going to hire him here now. So apparently he thinks something's going to work. He likes Heupel, so it is what it is.
Well, and what he gets with Heupel is he's his familiarity, and he's comfortable with him. He knows what he's got.
Yeah.
And he does bring an exciting, high-flying, up-tempo style of offense, which is something we've not had in a while. But I really worry about what we'd have on defense, because I see the coaching staff finally starting to form, which has taken forever. And our recruiting, I don't know how you could have expected to do real well in recruiting, but I will say this about the Heupel hire. I know that a lot of Tennessee fans weren't super excited about it, and I don't see why you would have been, but you got to give him a chance now. He's your coach. Go with it. But on paper, our last coaching staff was supposed to have been one of the best in the nation as a whole staff, top to bottom. And look what that got you. It got you complete crap.
That
doesn't always matter.
We heard about Butch Jones, though.
It doesn't matter. I mean, none of that matters. It really doesn't. So, we always want to look at it. You always want to go get the best kids, right? The most 5 stars and all that, which I understand. But unless you're raking them in and you're hand-picking Alabama, then, you get a system that works. You get the talent that fits your system. And then you learn how to defeat people, and you make in-game adjustments, and you go from there. It's a lot of stuff I didn't see with the past coaching regime. They looked lost at times. They could not defend over the middle. So
listen, timeout, Jeremy. Don't mean to cut you off, but you go ahead and gather your thoughts. I see a lot of you commenting, but we've got nobody calling in yet. Left a link in the video description. Call in. Let us know what you think about what we got going on here. If you've got a different opinion, if you've got something that maybe we're just missing, let us know. Matt, I see you, Colton, Levi, Michael. Any of you guys decide you want to throw your 2 cents in? Let us know what's up.
I will say that. Well, I know, of course, I don't know it like you know it, but I did see that high pool coach Sam Bradford. In college, he was pretty decent. Let me say that much. Let me put it that way. I ain't gonna say in the pros, but in college, he's pretty decent. So you think he might be able to coach up a good quarterback?
Yeah,
a good pocket quarterback.
I look at what we've got on offense, and offense is probably what we look at as maybe one of more of our strengths going forward as far as who we have at player. It's defense where I worry, but we have a couple. We got Caden Salter coming in. He'll be a freshman. We'll see what he's got. We got Harrison Bailey, of course, which is touted as the starter. A lot of potential there. And then we have the kid that came over from Virginia Tech, Hendon Hooker, who's real explosive. So I think we've got 3. It should be a pretty good quarterback battle when they actually start getting into spring practice.
So we've got Matt Ash on the line ready to come in.
Cool,
let's see what you got to say, Matt.
I saw your comment. I guess I'll wait till he gets in here. It's a dumpster fire.
Matt's one of our bigger fans. I like Matt. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
I don't think he can hear us yet.
It's connecting. But yeah.
Hey,
what's going
Matt,
on, Matt?
what's up?
I see his Alabama stuff hanging back
there.
Yeah,
he's trying to flash it at you. He's like throwing gang signs with his Alabama stuff.
Oh, Bama.
Can you hear us,
Matt?
Matt?
The hat. It says he's connecting to audio again.
Okay, yeah. He's working on it.
But dumpster fire, that's, whoever it was that had commented about not being excited about Heupel and, they're just trying to be relevant again. I mean, yeah, I think the best thing you could do at this point as a program is realize where you're at. I saw a lot of fans and I saw other people, and they were even talking to Pruitt last year about how close they were to Alabama and him saying that the gap's closing.
Oh, it was.
And so everybody looking and going, what are you talking about? Because you just got shellacked. And you're getting beat.
Not last year, but the year before. Was it? The one where
it was the year before.
JG messed it up, and
it was the year before.
Can you hear us, Matt? You in, brother?
Jared.
He's got. Hang on, Matt. You got your his audio thing is muted out.
Oh, hold on. Let me fix him.
But yeah, in
Garantano transferred out too.
Yeah, he's a Washington State quarterback now.
It's a pretty decent team. They used to play pretty tough. But now I don't know if he's gonna be a starter or not. But Washington State's usually a pretty tough team.
Yeah, he'll be able to throw it a lot. I hope he doesn't throw it to the other team a lot.
Like he's been doing.
Exactly. I always liked Garantano. I always pulled for him, and I hated that he sucked, for more reasons than one. But, I hated it for him. Obviously, I hated it because I'm a fan, but I hated it for him.
Hey.
There he is.
Matt. Let us know what you think about the coaching hires in Tennessee, brother.
I think it is something that they had to get at the last moment. They were in damage control in light of the situation in Knoxville. They couldn't get who they really wanted, so they decided, okay, Josh Heupel's the only one we can get at this time because he'll pilot us through all the garbage. So I believe Josh Heupel is the catch-all person for everything that's going on in Knoxville.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: who do you think they rather would have had for a head coaching hire? Like, if they could have went out and just kind of handpicked somebody, what do you think, Matt?
I've heard a lot of Tennessee fans say they wanted Peyton Manning to coach, or
those people don't know what they're talking about, Matt.
I've heard a lot of that too.
And the quarterback for the 1998 national championship team, they really want him too. So,
and he was on staff. T. Martin. A few people anyway did want him there.
Was he the offensive coordinator, or what was he doing?
He was the wide receivers coach, and he was he was like the co-head coach. To throw that title at some people.
Yeah.
I heard it like you, Matt. I heard a ton of names from Hugh Freeze got a lot of traction. A lot of people wanted him, but that wasn't real realistic because we're going through what we're going through. He had all that stuff happen at Ole Miss.
Lane Kiffin
heard a lot of that. Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell.
Did they sign Heidel, right? How long did they sign him for?
It's I think it's 5 years or 3 years.
Okay.
I have to go look.
Okay.
Stephen Gilbreth says he thought that T. Martin was at USC.
No, he came over. He came over last year.
Okay. So it was just a recent thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, Matt, you got any more comments on this here thing besides Roll Tide? Because I know you're going to say it.
I'm going to be fair and impartial on this go around. Like I say, Tennessee has gone through a disaster here. And you feel for the fans here. Yeah. And Jeremy, you might think I'm being a smart aleck and being,
No, there's I know many Alabama fans, and how you're coming across right now doesn't rub me the wrong way at all. I've heard way worse, and not so subtle.
It's gonna be some tough years ahead for them, but
we got to start climbing.
Yeah,
it's like Jeremy and I have had this conversation time and time again, and I'm sure that maybe you think the same thing, Matt. I don't know. Like, I know it's fun to step on your rivals year in, year out, this and that, but like, the Georgia-Tennessee game being like a competitive fight, like it was in the first half this past year. The first half of that game, man, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, all right, here we go. But I do kind of miss that.
I will fold over and die when Tennessee beats Alabama. You will never.
He's gonna be in a hole in the ground. Man.
Well,
come on, man.
A lot of people look to that Georgia game and wonder, because up to that point they looked like a good team, and then at halftime they imploded, and then afterwards they looked like a completely different team. He comes out, Pruitt does, and fires his defensive line coach. Says he's just going to coach the defensive line for the rest of the year, and it, it just hit the fan. So we just have to build from here, and it is what it is. Like I said, you have to understand where you're at, and where we're at is, a 20-year low. That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool, man.
Well, Matt, man, I want to thank you again for calling in and joining us. We appreciate your point of view. We look forward to having you on next week for our GM episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so take it easy, my friend, and make sure you keep commenting for us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you, bud.
Thanks.
One of the nicer Alabama fans I've ever met.
And
you know what? It really sucks, honestly, because to your point, Andrew, Tennessee's at such a spot now that, like, when your rivals don't hate you, they feel sorry for you. It's worse. You don't think it would be worse, but it's worse. Like, nobody wants to rag you, because what's the point? You got players coming out, like Florida players and stuff, that come out years ago and saying, "What rivalry? We've been beating the crap out of it, and it sucks."
Yeah.
Anyway.
And real quick before we continue, I'm getting a lot of comments again. My wife mostly. Seth Youngblood, I see you in there. What's going on, brother? I see you, Go Vols here. You want to join us, man? Go on, hop in and say your piece. The link is in the description. Stephen Gilbreth, I see you in there. I see lots of y'all talking. Nobody wanting to come on here and mouth off. So
call in, guys.
We're just gonna keep rolling. Call in. We'll let you in. We'll let you talk.
Andrew, not Andrew, but Jeremy.
Yeah.
Of course, Tennessee had a lot of transfers since the scandal kind of started, if I want to call it a scandal.
The McDonald's scandal.
Yeah. I mean, not saying JG was one of the top quarterbacks, but he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
They also had one of the top running backs. Okay, Gray.
Yeah, so Eric Gray leaving did suck. It did suck. You also had Ty Chandler. He left.
Yeah.
Wanye Morris, a starting 5-star tackle.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one I know. Yeah, a good offensive lineman.
Yeah, we've had a couple. We had his name slips my mind, but a really talented, I think it's Key Lawrence, defensive back. He transferred away, and that's what we need. We need those guys. But our defensive coordinator that we hired, what was it, yesterday? Yeah. Tim Banks. Tim Banks, from what I understand from doing a little research, he likes to run a 4-2-5 defense. So that's 5 defensive backs. So we're going to need defensive backs, and that's kind of where we're thin at. So
I
All
did
right, gentlemen,
notice.
we've got another caller. If y'all will let me.
Go ahead, moderator.
Admit. Boom. Who we got here? It says Gabriel's iPhone. Ah, what's up? He's connecting.
Look at that beard.
What's going on? That's a beard right there.
Boy.
That's a beard. I'm working on mine. How you like it?
I love it. Hey, man, beard oil. Use beard oil.
Oh,
Beard
I love
oil,
that
baby.
stuff, man. Hey, Jeremy's all natural over there.
All natural right here. It
Hey,
don't
man.
really grow right here.
That's how I got this. That beard oil, man. It helps it grow.
Oh, that stuff's good.
I just use my own skin oil. Just get in there.
All right, my friend. So, tell us your thoughts on the situation right now in Rocky Top.
Man, I'm sitting here with Jeremy on this, man. Like, it's got to the point now where, like, people, man, they don't even make fun of us no more. They're just like, they pity us, and like he said, man, that hurts a lot more.
It sucks so much.
Because you can't, like, I mean, Kenny at work, man. He's a big Gators fan, and I talk so much. I always talk shit to him so much, and he's like, "Yeah, let me know when y'all win one." And I honestly, we went into this past season, and I was excited. I had faith in Pruitt, and then we just, it's like we dropped the ball time and time again.
Literally and figuratively.
Then Kenny said something. He was just kind of like, he's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Man, I'm not even. You right? We suck." It's like it's just that point. And I think a lot of it has to do with, man, our like, I'll admit, man, the Vols fan base is terrible. Like, they're constantly, like, they believe that they're going to hire a new coach, and they think that in 2 seasons we should be SEC champions, and in that 3rd season we should be in the national championship. And that's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. Well, people are like, well, that happened with Georgia. I was like, but when they hired that coach, they already had a pretty decent, recruiting class still.
Yeah, they had a good
roster. We are 20 years into a diesel-fired dumpster.
I mean, we were 9 and 10 wins when we brought in Kirby Smart anyway. He just kind of added on to that a little bit.
Yeah, so and our fan base is like, well, the other teams are doing it. I'm like, other teams actually have a little bit of a recruiting class. They have good players. People don't want to come to Tennessee because I'm going to play under 3 coaches before I leave. Nobody wants to do that. They want to come to a school to where they can play for a coach, not coaches.
Here's the thing, though. Like, there's still talent there. There's still talent, and like, I'm not one of those guys either. I'm not one of those guys that think that, like, with a new coach, like, you're gonna 2 years and then you'll be there. But I think what people want to see as Tennessee fans is just see development and see you, like what they were saying earlier, become more relevant. I want to see
a better rating every year. Instead of going 1-8, right. I want to see it 2-7 and getting better each year, not digress. You want to progress, not digress.
And what it was is, like, even this past year, there was a ton of excitement, right? And you kind of had that feeling like maybe we were going to be good and relevant again. And then the win and, like, the Georgia game, like we were talking about in the first half, it was great. Playing hard-nosed football, you could tell Georgia was probably the better team, but you were competitive in it. And that's what you got to be, competitive with every team. It sucks that we play Alabama every year. We play Georgia every year, Florida every year. But, find a way to beat them. They're people, they're humans right next to you, and talent doesn't always win out.
I don't think they recruit humans at Alabama.
I think a lot of our problem is we try to recruit all 5 stars instead of, you can get a 5-star and bring them to our program. They don't fit our program. They're not going to play like a 5-star. Yeah. They're going to play like a 2-star. You can go and find 2 and 3 stars that fit our program, and they can come to our program and possibly show off like a 5-star.
Most of the time, those star ratings don't mean anything.
They got to find people that fit our program, and that was Butch's problem. Butch was a great recruiter, but he was just getting 5 stars, but he wasn't getting people that fit our program.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. We need to find people that fit our program better.
And trust me, coming from a Georgia fan, 5 stars in recruiting doesn't necessarily translate to 5 stars on the field, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, trust me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to be put into a program that fits you. I mean, like Jeremy said, we have the talent. I mean, even when we had Eric Berry and when we had Kamara, look at them when they went to the NFL. They went to the NFL, and I mean, even Eric Berry was a boss.
That's my dog.
At UTK. But look at Kamara now.
Yeah.
Kamara now in the NFL. I mean, he did good at Tennessee. Never went to the SEC. Never went to the National. But look at him. I mean, he's going off.
You just got to be competitive. If Heupel comes in and throws something on the field that he's competitive, if we look competitive, if we lose by, whatever, but he's competitive year one, a lot of people will get behind him at that point. I just worry about defense on it.
And that's my thing. And I mean, a lot of people I've seen in the Vols pages, everybody's like, this is a stupid hire and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I don't give a crap who we hire. I'm going to give that person a chance because you don't know. I mean, you have no idea what they're capable of. You got to give them a chance. And if here in a couple years, I mean, give him more than 2 years. If he's not showing progress, we have to start at square one again. But I'm not going to be sitting in the stands shouting, fire him. Like,
well, see,
we're too quick.
That's what I like about your point of view here. The thing, this goes back to what you said in the very beginning. Be patient and give him time. You just want to see improvement. If this past season you guys finished, what was your final record, Jeremy?
Like 3-7.
Yeah,
we don't want to talk about it.
3-7. And that was all SEC schedule. Granted, it was a little tougher, this and that. Next year you're going to have those easy wins and in the non-conference, cupcake games, this and that. So next year, if you're like 6-6, you're like, okay, a little better, a little more improvement. The year after that, 7-5 or 8-4, whatever. Yeah, that's just gotta have.
That's the bad thing, though. Even through all the decades, it's been like that.
Yeah. As a fan, I know personally we're not going to be SEC or national championship ready for years. It's gonna be a while. Can we get back to that relevancy and be competing with Alabama? Sure we can, but it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next year. So if there's people like, oh man, we're about to go 9-1 this year, it ain't going to happen. Don't
guys that are always saying, next year's our year and all that other crap we get made fun of for. They don't understand football. Not really.
No.
Yeah, they're like each year they're like, oh, if we don't go 8-2, and then I'm done with the team. I said, well, you're being a fair weather fan. Like I've been a Vols fan since I was a kid.
Don't be a Negavol. I've been hearing that a lot lately. A lot of those guys out there.
That's a funny
Negavol. Negative Vol fans. That's what they're called.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to leave. I've left a couple of the fans pages just because I'm like, dude, I'm tired of the first loss last year. They're like fire Pruitt, and I'm like, man.
But you gotta look. Those are the people that complain are the loudest. They're always the ones on the soapbox complaining the loudest. It's the ones you always see. It's the ones you always hear. Fans like me, I understand what's going on to a certain degree, and I realize that we're not great. So I just sit back and watch the games. Like, I'm not gonna complain. I'll complain at the TV and to y'all, but I'm not gonna
that's every fan. Like now, I will agree. Everybody was talking about fire Jim Chaney, and I agreed with that the whole time because that guy's an idiot.
Yes. I feel you on that one.
I'm not very, very knowledgeable about football. I love watching it, but I'm not super smart about it. I could coach. I could be a better coordinator than Jim Katie was.
I believe it.
And that's saying something because, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of retarded. So
are you?
Hey, I worked at Volkswagen for 4.5 years. What do you think?
Yep. Well, hey, boss, you got any final thoughts?
Man, I just hope we get better, man. Just progress. We just need improvement.
You make Queasy disappear.
Voting for progress. Hey, I feel you on that.
Progress. I agree. That's it. It's all about the progress right now.
Progress 2021.
I tell you what, one thing Tennessee fans can look forward to is hopefully the offense will be what Heupel's has been, and it's exciting to watch. If anything,
I do.
You'll be
That's
excited.
One thing I do think. I mean, all of our offensive line. I'm pretty sure every single one of them were true freshmen last year. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they were just. young.
Not all of them. You know, you got Trey Smith gone.
Mays, Trey Smith. Yeah.
Cade's coming back.
Yeah.
You had the 3 year of eligibility, but you had there you go, Queasy.
They get an extra year. Yeah, the new player, they get an extra year because of COVID.
Yeah,
that they're eligible to play.
But we weren't all super young. Trey Smith was the big one. You know, he was a senior. He's gone. He's NFL bound. And then we had the center, Brandon Kennedy. He's also gone. So
yeah, so we'll lose those two. But
and then we had the transfer out.
The rest of our young O line, maybe they can get some development and some depth. I mean, another thing that could have been our downfall as well is with COVID happening, they didn't get to practice as much as they normally would have due to the regulations.
But every program was dealing with that. But
yeah,
I've heard that a lot. I've heard it was a real big culture problem.
It could help attribute to a step back. That's for sure.
Yeah, I did hear the rumors about there was, there wasn't togetherness in the locker room and stuff like that. Everybody was on different pages. I've seen a bunch of tweets where the players now they seem excited about the new coach. So maybe that'll be a good thing. And maybe it may have been that the players may not have stood with Pruitt, and they just it was like they sat down on him. That could have been a thing. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to make excuses and say that's what happened. But
no,
I mean, either way, even if my coach, I hated my coach, I'm still going to play because it looks bad on me. Who wants to be like, oh man, yeah, I played for the Vols when they sucked.
That's just having
when
integrity.
They sucked.
That's just having integrity. If you've been raised correctly and you're playing, you don't lay down on ananybody.
You want to
any
give
shred
your
of
best
self-respect.
because, I mean, you want to give your best no matter what. Like even at work, I mean, I had a couple supervisors that I didn't really care for, but I didn't like, you know what? Just to get them in trouble, I'm going to do shit at my job. No, it's not. Because if I do shit at my job, that looks bad on me, not really on my supervisor.
You need to talk to some people on my line.
Right, man. And that's how it is. I mean, I've always, I want to do the best I can, no matter what. And, you think that's how any football player would be. They want to, you want to be good. You don't want to be bad, no matter what the reason is. Even if your coach is a complete douchebag, you want to play good for you.
We forget quite often too that these are still, for the most part, a lot of kids. They're
young,
and kids. You can't attribute like normal quote unquote attitudes and stuff like that to kids. You got a lot of big heads. You got a lot of them coming together and hanging out. They talk. They quit. Some of them might. Some people were. They'll quit. They'll quit on you if you're not giving them what they need. If they're not getting the right attention. If they're not getting a lot of playing time. I mean, all those things happen, and you have to deal with all that as a coach.
Because nobody comes to a program to sit on the bench. I, for one, I'm not going to bust my ass all week during practice to sit on the bench the whole time and not get any play time. I mean, why sacrifice that time and that effort if you're not getting to at least contribute, show stuff off?
And I mean, it looks.
I get if you're not doing the progress, you're not showing that I'm worthy of being on the field, but still.
It comes back to like you're talking about a lot of the things like, what players need and attitude and this like that. But like when you look at a program like Alabama, you had a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who was definitely NFL bound, and we see that now. And he sat on the bench a year and was totally okay with it behind Tua because Nick Saban just kind of worked it in that way. And you're looking at it and you're like, how did he do this? Left and right, you got quarterbacks transferring, you got people pitching fit for time to play and going somewhere else and this and that. But exactly, how?
It was this, Andrew.
Well, the McDonald's bags need to be a little heavier.
See, they're giving it in briefcases. We're giving it in McDonald's bags. That's the problem. Okay.
And another thing that Hoople can do right now to get people to come to Tennessee. I can't pronounce his name. Shut up. Hoople. So another thing that he can use as a playing card to get recruits to come to Tennessee is, because, everybody wants to go to Alabama and other programs. And, they're going to be on the bench when they get there unless they're just, God at football. Like right now, he has the playing card. If you want to come to Tennessee, you're going to get to play. You're going to be playing because, we've been losing recruits and stuff like that because of all this, because we lose a coach every couple of years. People are looking at Tennessee like, oh man, do I want to go there? And because I may not be coached by the same coach every year. I might be different coaches. So he can use that as a playing card to kind of lure people into play and capitalize on that and make progress with those recruits he brings. So he keeps his job. Those students get to keep their same coach, and we can progress our program. And do it right. Don't be handing people money in McDonald's bags.
Yeah, maybe Wendy's or something.
Wendy's, yeah. At least get them some good food.
I hate
Chick-fil-A bag. You know what I'm talking about.
Somebody hands me money in a McDonald's bag, man. Well, I'll take the money. I want that McDonald's.
Upgraded Chick-fil-A or something.
I hate to cut you short, Seth, but we got another guy, David Winley, trying to jump on in. We appreciate your thoughts.
All right, man. Just tag me in y'all's next post. I just kind of happened to stumble across it and joined. So
we got you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
We got you.
Appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Stay safe.
See ya.
Hope said.
Oh, we lost our guy in the waiting room. He left.
Well,
David, if you're still there, come on back, my friend.
Come on back. We're ready for you now.
Sorry, bud. Didn't mean to knock you out there if I did. So he made a lot of good points, though. I do believe.
Definitely.
A lot of good points. And when it comes to recruiting, I don't think people really understand how in-depth recruiting is and how constant they are with these kids and the different pitches that they hear from everybody. That's why you'll have these kids release like their top 6, because it's the top 6. It's the only 6 schools that they'll narrow it down to that they really want to hear from constantly, because they'll hear from these guys every day, phone calls, text messages. It can be overwhelming from what I understand. Of course, I wasn't recruited.
Were you not?
No, I wasn't. So they lost out on a star, at a half star. But, when it comes to recruiting and stuff, it doesn't always matter. Like we all know, it doesn't always matter if you're a 5-star. We've had 5 stars that come and be garbage. And, I think what it is they plateau. They're playing their best ball while they're in high school against competition that maybe not so great. But, if you're plateaued, when you get against better competition or equal competition, you don't play as well.
Yeah.
You can see that a lot. But most programs, you take Alabama out of it. With Caitlin's been laughing at me over there, Andrew.
Oh, she's wild, dude. You gotta ignore her.
If you take Alabama out of the situation, because I really do feel like it's them right now, and then Clemson's kind of nipping at their heels, but they're still really not into it at that level. And then it's everybody else, maybe Ohio State. They just have so much talent. But I look at Tennessee as like a best possible situation. I don't think that this is it, but if you were looking at it, Clemson. You remember when Clemson hired Dabo Swinney? Nobody had Clemson on their radar for like 5 years. Yeah. He built the program for 5 years. That's what this university, for whatever reason, won't give a coach enough time. And I know many battered fans that wanted to see Pruitt have more time because they just didn't want to see another coach in search. And that's sorry, but to their defense, when you see what happened, I mean, what are you going to do? But, going forward, you just got to learn how to be patient. But that's the bad thing. Tennessee fans have been patient, if anything.
Come on, Steven. I see you commenting. Come on, jump on in here, my friend. I hung up on David, so come on, we got room.
Let me holler at you, Jeremy, I guess, a bit. I did notice that a lot of those transfers went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, at least 3 of them.
Is there a reason why? Is there a coach that went to Oklahoma or something like that?
Not that I know of. I think they just saw that, they had showcased that they had talent, and,
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma is usually a pretty strong team in recruiting, and it's not like it's next door or even in the same conference. So I was just wondering why a lot of, at least I've seen 3.
Because I think, they're friends, and they said, screw it. If we're leaving, maybe we go together, and they're talented enough.
You know what I mean? The players were friends. I got you.
Yep. Yeah. So they said, whatever,
True.
Maybe that might have even been their said. Then maybe they said, hey, Eric Gray, we really like you. And he said, cool, I'll come there. But hey, what about my friends?
Yeah.
They're good too. And they're like, well, okay. And then they look at them. I don't know if that's what happened. But
and I've always said this. Of course, I never recruited, but I've always said this. If I was going to go to a school and start recruiting, players, I will look for the best talent in a sense and find him and bring on his friends. I don't care if his friend is a half of a star.
You bring him on
bring
anyway.
his friend on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to get that dude on.
Yeah.
That's what I would do to get that player there.
I agree. And you see a lot of that with schools like Alabama. You know, they're going after a 5-star offensive lineman. They're going to and recruiting at a high school. Well, there's a 2-star running back here that he says he's going to college with him. They're best friends. They're this, they're that. They absolutely will come in and recruit that guy.
Man, that's what I would do. You know, and so you know, I'm a Michigan fan. Go Blue, but that's what I would do every time I would go against Ohio State. Like, you know, do you want to, you know, you gotta feed the rivalry and you gotta grab that one player. And I think that's what happened as far as basketball with the you know, the Fab Five when we brought them there. Once they had that one guy on, all the rest of them came on because they were close friends in a sense. You know, they knew each other through playing basketball with each other and in the rivalry, but they wanted to do all start, and that's what became the Fab Five in the basketball. So I would do that, and also in football.
You see it a lot nowadays, especially then. I'd say probably about the last 10 years or so, maybe somewhere in there, where a lot of the guys, as soon as they commit, and they're like a hard commit, they'll start recruiting other people that they know because they connect. You know, they go to these camps pre-COVID. They'll go to these camps, all of this stuff, you know, and you know they'll make those relationships, and then they'll start recruiting. Yeah, which is kind of crazy, but you know that does happen.
I would make it. If I want to start a quarterback again, I would try. You know, whatever quarterback I would think I have a good chance with, especially probably within Tennessee. You know, you have the high school championship through high school, whatever kind of quarterback there is.
Caden Salter, you're talking about Caden Salter, whether you realize it or not. He was Texas Player of the Year. Okay. He won the best player in Texas at the position at least. Yeah, and he's super talented. Harrison Bailey, super talented. You know, coming out of Georgia. I would do it just like I would do with the pros. Hey, bro, you know, I'm coming to you, kid. Who you think who you want as a wide receiver for you? And I'm going to try to get anybody that you want. Yeah, no doubt. Well, and that's what I look at this coaching staff and where we're going and like what to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And I've already kind of said it is the offense. You know, the high flying offense. They score a lot of points. Heupel scored a lot of points at UCF. That's UCF. I understand it's not SEC ball, so everybody's saying that. Like, I get it. So we'll see how it works because, you brought Mike Leach over, right? You brought Mike Leach over. He had the high-flying offense. It looked great week one, and then it blew up.
Oh,
it was garbage.
Different, like playing –
not air raid, so.
Playing like, not like group of 5.
Yeah.
But I do have one more question for you, Jeremy, before we wrap this thing up. If we can get somebody else on, I think we got enough time for one more caller.
Call in, guys. Let's do it.
Kevin Steele, I want you to wrap this up for me. Like, put my brain around what's going on and explain why it's a fantastic idea to keep this man on staff and why maybe this isn't happening or what's going on there, because I'm real confused. Confused.
I'm also super confused because, off season, after they fired Pruitt, they said there was a hiring freeze. Well, before they hired,
that was during the investigation, right?
Right. They said there's a hiring freeze. You know, we're not extending contracts, we're not renewing contracts, we're not making new hires. And then they turn around and hire Kevin Steele. I said, cool. You know, he'll be our defensive coordinator.
What I heard on that was there's no possible way he could have been part of the scandal. So it's okay to go ahead and bring him in case we have to make a transition. That's what I heard about that.
Like, I get that. And then I thought, okay, well, they're slick, and they did make him the interim head coach. And then I thought, okay, well, that's who they want as the head coach. And they knew they were wanting to fire Pruitt all along. Let's be real. And then, Fulmer steps down for whatever reason, blah, blah, blah. They hire Heupel. I hear, okay, well, they're gonna be buying Kevin Steele out. He's only been there 3 weeks. They're gonna pay him like $750,000 for 3 weeks worth of nothing recruiting, basically. Why? Exactly. For what? And
now,
then,
the fact that The fact that they were going to fire him blows my mind because I'm sure you were going to get to this. 3 out of the past 4 seasons, he's been a Broyles Award finalist, which that award goes to the best coordinator in the country, the best assistant coach in the country. He was a finalist for this award. He ran a awesome defense at Auburn, except this past year it wasn't very great. So you're going to fire this man over like one slip up because he sent a bunch of talent to the NFL.
Dude, look, I'm confused too. I'm still confused. He still is on staff.
Why is he not DC right now?
I don't know. I thought they were going to hire him as defensive coordinator right away, but then I heard a lot of people saying, well, they want to find a good fit for this style of offense, which makes sense because if you're a high-flying style, you don't want a defense that's going to be out there all the time. Like you need an aggressive defense that can get you turnovers.
Need a good rotation.
That's what we want. Like we want that real aggressive style that, they might bend, it might be the bend, not break, but they're not your traditional style defense, if that makes sense, because you want a lot of turnovers. You want to get the ball back real quick. Of course you want to be a shutdown defense. Who doesn't? But, when you're running that style of offense, you can't go 3 and out and then and then have a defense that's really sucking wind. But he's still on staff, and I have no idea what he's going to be doing. Like literally, I think he's still getting paid from Auburn. So
he is. Tennessee was only going to be out. I think, gosh, it was like a ridiculously small amount of money for having the Broyles Award. Yeah, for having the Broyles Award finalist on your staff.
And maybe,
like I said,
Seth's
coming on. Come on, Seth.
Maybe he's gonna be like, hey, what up, Seth?
Seth?
He's connected. He's connected to his audio.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Seth?
Good, Cat.
What's up, guys? Y'all doing all right this fine evening?
It's all right, man.
Do we have 3 day shifters on this call?
We do.
We got 2 words. Dak Prescott. How about that? How about that?
Seth, what do you think about Heupel? But more to the point where we're talking about is Kevin Steele. He's still on staff. Kind of everybody's wondering what he's doing. Is he leaving? Is he staying? If he does stay, what position is he going to take? Because now they've hired Tim Banks as the DC. There's really nobody on staff.
Well, you have Garner, so Garner's going to be the defensive line, right?
Right, defensive line.
So unless Kevin Steele takes the linebackers and this Tim Banks guy keeps him on, then it sounds like he's gone and he's going to collect his money and pass go. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I can see Kevin Steele doing at this point is going to linebackers and coaching linebackers, unless they try to make him a co-defensive coordinator, which I highly doubt that that's going to happen since this Cat was, the co-defensive coordinator at Penn State before he came over to Tennessee. So, and I would imagine that's probably one of the main reasons he decided to make the jump was not only the money, but the fact that he's getting that title as standalone coordinator and he's no longer having to share that title with somebody else. So, I mean, I think unless Kevin Steele does linebackers, and, the thing about it is, too, is you hear these reports that he's out recruiting for Tennessee.
He's still on it, man. And that doesn't make any sense if he's going to be fired. And why would you fire him? Because like what Andrew was saying, he's getting paid peanuts because he's getting paid a ton of money from Auburn. So if you're Kevin Steele, like if I put my shoes in Kevin Steele, if I was Kevin Steele, like
if you put your shoes in Kevin Steele,
whatever, why not stay on staff, continue coaching at Tennessee, get paid all that money from Auburn, do what you can there, see what develops, and then see what prospects come to you next season. Because if he had like people knocking down his door to go be defensive coordinator at wherever, a big name school, or even the NFL. A couple of our guys from the past regime went to the NFL. I think he'd be gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know, man. And for whatever reason, they've been hush hush about it, So I don't know. It's kind of like he's just in the background, and I guess we'll wait and find out. Because Heupel hasn't really even talked about him either, So I don't know. Maybe they just plan on keeping him on, and I guess they'll let Tim Banks make that decision. But ultimately, as long as he's not a POS like all these other reports and these other people are saying, then I see you keep him on as linebackers coach and just go from there.
Could you get a better guy, honestly, to stay on your staff? I still don't see how you couldn't have him. You wouldn't make him your DC, but
or at least put him on the D line. That's his specialty.
There's something going on. Maybe he does linebackers and he helps with the D line. I don't know, but if you have a great, I mean, he could be dubbed as a great defensive mind. But then again, Pruitt was supposedly a great defensive backs coach, and they couldn't cover shit last year. So I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Seth,
what
you
about
got
Heupel?
Yeah, I was about to say, you got any thoughts on Heupel?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, of course, his offensive background is good. You kind of look at his tenure at UCF, and you kind of notice the fact that he did have a downward slope on his record as he was going down the line, you know what I'm saying, each year. And I know 2020 was different and all that, but I mean, it's kind of just wait and see. I don't know much about him, really. I mean, other than what I've read. So, I mean, I hope that he's going to be good. I know that everybody wants to see the offense, get on where they should be. And I feel like he kind of has the same offense as Lane Kiffin, and Lane showed that, he can score points. So if that's kind of a modification of Heupel or however they decide to go about it. But I mean, I guess I'm excited, at the same time, but you just kind of have to wait and see at this point. You just really never know. I mean, I think people started hyping up Butch Jones, and you saw where that went. I mean, he had that one good season because he got all the in-state guys on the recruiting trail and everything, and then it went to crap after that. But I don't know. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. I'm excited about this spring game. Hopefully they get to have it and everything is normal.
No doubt.
And then I think that's going to tell everybody a lot. But until that happens, then you won't really know much. So.
No doubt. And I have like a nagging feeling that this team could be like that team that was it Butch Jones when they had Eric Bray at quarterback. And, we were like one of the best offenses Tennessee's had in a really long time as far as points. We were scoring points like crazy when our defense was the exact opposite, like 123rd in the nation. Terrible. I couldn't stop crap. And I'm mostly worried. I'm excited about offense and mostly worried about defense, just from the players we have and the coaching stuff that's still kind of up in the air. We just don't have great depth, especially in the back end. That's where I worry. Back end. Yep.
Well, Seth, man, we definitely appreciate you calling in. Don't mean to bump you, but we got another guy trying to get in here.
No, you're
trying
good.
to get in on this action. So
Seth,
it might be Dak Prescott.
Probably Dak Prescott.
Hey,
it's like over 3, Seth. Do it.
Hey, okay, I'll talk to y'all later.
Give us the 3. Give us the 3. Give us the 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Go big orange too. Yeah, baby.
That's right, baby.
See, cook.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, man.
Who's that?
Oh, dear God.
It's your fellow Michigan, man.
It's our Stugotz.
No.
It's our Stugotz. Ben's got
seen him drink a gallon of tequila.
Ben.
What up, Ben?
That's what I want to see. What
Trash
up, Ben? Look at him.
Can't even get it. Look at him. Is this on?
I forgot what your face looked like. All right, buddy. We're talking Tennessee. We're going to be wrapping the episode up here in a minute. So you got any final thoughts for us, my friend? What do you think?
I hope Tennessee does good. It'd be good for the conference.
Oh, thank you.
They need it. And Vol Nation, always remember, there's always next year.
We're already on next year. It's not even this year.
Do you have any surprises for us tonight, Ben? No,
man, we just want to see you chug alcohol, man.
No gallon of whiskey for us.
Nope, not tonight.
Not even a shot.
Hey, he's on punishment, man.
Oh, Kenny says this is your year. Oh,
hey,
Kenny.
right off screen, his wife sitting there like, you bet not. You bet not.
Hey, Matt says go easy on Jeremy. Matt likes Jeremy now.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. And Kenny, if you're watching, you need to call in. Like, what are you doing?
You want to get Kenny on
Kenny?
here?
We know Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny.
Man, Kenny, call in, bro.
Kenny, call in here, man. Call in here with that Florida crap.
Bring your gators on, man.
Ben, well, real quick, what do you think about the Josh Heupel hire? He's like, who that?
I got
exactly.
I mean,
I got nothing.
Ben told me earlier, he's like, I'm gonna call in. ... I'm gonna say, good luck next year. You got next year.
I bumped off a knowledgeable Tennessee fan for you to call in here and say there's always next year.
I mean, Heupel came from UCF, which is known as a decent team, not a strong team, but one of those teams you never know if you're going to win or lose, kind of thing. If you sleep on them, they'll beat you. And I think they ended up 4th in their conference, if I'm correct.
I mean, they didn't have the best year. They're not. I mean, they've fallen far from that 2017 national championship team. But
hey, you go and look like either right now if you're watching or one of you guys when you're ready. But go and look at all the games that he actually lost while he was at UCF. Mm-hmm. Even this last year, you look. They lost 4 games, but they lost 3 of those games by like 4 points or less. And then the one game they lost, they got beaten the crap out of, was their bowl game. Yeah. And they had like 10 opt-outs or something.
I think that's seen them beat also Georgia Tech last year too. So Georgia Tech, you would consider them to be better than I guess a UCF. So
and when you look at what Tennessee was, like where we're coming from, to this, like if you can bring some of that competitiveness, I don't give a crap about stars right now. Yeah. I want to see us play hard and make sound decisions. Losses,
they're a very high scoring game, or high scoring team. So
they're like shootouts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I want to see the shootouts.
Did I just hear you open something?
I'm eating.
You're eating.
What are you eating? Some Chinese food? I bet you're eating Chinese food.
He looks like a Chinese food.
He does. He's eating some kind of noodle.
Oh God, we're gonna get
bacon and jalapeno stuffed cheese bread.
I hope your butt hurts tomorrow. All right, Ben, give us a 3. Give us a 3. We got one more guy we're going to try to sneak in here. Somebody trying to bump you out now.
Bye, Ben.
Let him have.
Give us a 3.
3. Give us a 3, Ben. Do it.
Yeah, bye, Ben.
It's not even the right way to do it, Ben. We'll work on it. Bye, Ben. Thanks for calling.
All right, last caller. He's
a Michigan fan.
Who is this? Oh, man. Oh, we got somebody going to drink for us.
Hey, we can have more than one on at a time. I didn't know we could do that. Cool.
I can't hear him.
Greg. Oh, we can't hear you. Your mic is muted. Your mic's muted.
He's walking around his house speaking redneck.
He's like, hey, I was in a cover band of Alabama.
He was in an Alabama cover band. Hey, we can't hear you, Greg.
You're muted, bro. Figure it out. It's on your end, Greg. Fix it. I can see you smiling.
Okay, that damn Bud Light got him. He's leaning.
Lord, he's falling down.
And maybe Mike's still working in Alabama. I don't know.
Now can you hear me?
We hear you, Alabama, Greg.
Okay, I'm still working on this whole bullshit. So
you know what I'm saying?
Are you spinning in circles? Don't do that.
Technology.
You're what is this? The Super Bowl halftime show? I've got vertigo.
I'm blinded by your lights.
So Ben let us down, Greg. We're about to wrap the show up. We need somebody to chug alcohol for us.
Hey,
is it
always
full?
Works.
That's a nice Bud Light you have there. We drink liquor on this show, Bud.
Get us a full one. Come on, man.
I stand corrected. Crack you a full one. Let's see you chug
you want me to get some Crown Apple, some
whatever you can chug without throwing up.
No, let's not. Hang on.
Yeah. I got you, Cat.
Crown Apple. Greg, before you start chugging alcohol for our amusement, what do you think about Josh Heupel in Tennessee and its current state of affairs? Greg, by the way, is a Florida State fan for everybody watching.
Huh? But I ain't listening.
Oh, I said, what do you think about the Josh Heupel hire at Tennessee? And also, you're a Florida State fan. So,
yeah, Florida State. Well, I don't know.
Lord have mercy.
Something happens this year with Florida State because last year they wouldn't do shit. I ain't gonna talk about down Tennessee. I don't give a shit about Tennessee.
There you go.
Chug your alcohol then, Greg. Get off here.
He's not an SEC fan, so why does he care? Good point, man.
Yeah.
We always love our.
Ben let us down, so chug for us, champ.
Kenny, you're still on here. Why have you not called in yet?
Because I keep saying last caller.
Why is Squeezy like rubbing his eyes? He's already had one.
I'm trying to cover it.
We've been sipping, my friend.
He's tired.
Do it.
Chug.
Keep going.
Chug.
Oh, God.
You got to outlast Ben, man.
We're going to get sued.
Oh. All right, Greg. You good people, Greg.
Yeah, I tried.
Greg, he can't even.
I'm gonna.
I'm good.
Okay.
You come to the house, you can crash out on the carport.
Again,
he can't even crash on the
he is
couch.
not my beer pong partner this time.
Yes, he is.
Man,
No. He gets drunk before we play beer pong. That's not the point. He's terrible.
That's the whole part of the game, man.
I wasn't drunk.
Well, that was your fault. Maybe you'd have played better. And me and Seth wouldn't have whipped y'all's butt.
Because of me, so.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I just took another drink. That one was for all you Tennessee fans out there. I feel for you. Hopefully, this Josh Heupel hire works out. Yes. Hey, Greg, this is how we wrap this up, my friend. We say go for 3.
Go for 3, baby.
Go for 3.
Should it be 4 since I'm the 4th?
Oh, dear God.
No.
You're out.
No. Bye, Greg.
Go Big Orange.
Peace out, y'all.
Look at Tennessee fans. Stay true. Stay true to the brand.
Right. Yeah, so real talk. Go for 3 now.
Go for 3, guys.
Always.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Queasy at RastaLion1131, Jeremy at Checkerboard J, and me at Jedi Quarterback.